Hello everybody, this is of course the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Dutch, back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how things are going? Big thank you to everyone who has stuck with me during my recent moment of silliness, in which I did more or less an entire video blowing raspberries through a piece of rubber just for the hell of it. But never mind, you know, I can't be totally serious forever, and I'm sure you can appreciate that some variety can really add to the channel in its own right, and of course it's fun to do something silly once in a while. But today I want to talk about something that's deadly serious, or at least is deadly serious to spiritualists in particular. And I would say also to people who are involved in creative pursuits such as fashion, art and design as well, although they may take it in a slightly different direction or in a slightly different way. Now, the subject in question is that of colour. That's right, you heard me correctly. So what's so controversial about colour? This is blue, so what? This is red, so what? The wall behind me is white, so what? But people ascribe meanings to colours, okay? And when you're doing something which is associated with symbolism, it is important to try and build up some kind of introspective understanding as to what colour can actually mean. In fact, what different types of colours can actually mean. Think about it, you got the entire spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. And then of course you got the other colours which might be combinations of the same. Maybe a brown or a reddy blue or a greeny, purpley, yellowy, whatever. What do these things mean? What do they mean emotionally speaking? What do they mean in terms of status, the way a person expresses themselves? Today I'm wearing a red jumper. What does it say about my state of mind? What does it say about how I would be perceived by other people, despite the fact it might not necessarily be reflected in my state of mind? Okay? Going through the process of understanding colour can in fact be quite a complex introspective process, and therefore it's useful for yourself. For people who want to go through the process of trying to create spiritual familiars that they want to use as part of their spellcasting work, the understanding of colour is in fact essential, because you've got to know what it would mean to the character, rank, nature and personality of the alleged spirit which you're conjuring to have it appear in a particular colour. So do spend a bit of time doing so. Try and keep it basic. Maybe stick to primary colours and just spend 1 month going through the primary colours in sequence. Or maybe you'd want to do it in a more of a rainbow manner, going through red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet over, let's say, a 7 or 8 day period, depending upon whether you want to do indigo and violet or as one particular colour, and then maybe do a separate day for the colour of brilliant whites, and yet another day maybe for the colour of pitch blackness. Some people associate black not with evil, but with a place of introspection, or a place where you can become reborn from or created from. Some people see it as the colour of the earth, or indeed a colour of birth in its own right. White, on the other hand, being a collection of all the rest of the colours, some people don't say is not actually a colour in its own right, but is merely an expression of brilliance or an expression of the universe itself. So the meanings that people have ascribed to colours have changed dramatically and are different depending upon which particular cult or culture you are a part of. But that shouldn't really be important to you unless of course you're using the cult or culture to be the thing which defines the meaning. Often we have our own meanings based upon the way that we perceive things. What about a colourblind person or someone who is slightly visually impaired when it comes to colour? Would they see blue and green in the same way? Would they get the same emotional impact from blue or from green? And it's up to the individual as to what those colours seem to mean to them. When you're gathering together with a group of people who have an interest in doing, let's say, one particular ritual for a time of year, or to send healing to somebody, there can be some violent and bitter arguments as to what the various colours mean, which is another reason why it's probably better to do your spell casting alone rather than necessarily as part of a group. These are just things to bear in mind or think about as you're going through the path of trying to understand colour in a greater way.